Once everyone had heard about Area 51, in a sense, the secret's out. But in some ways, this can work to the government's benefit. When all eyes are on one particular location, the trick is then to move the action elsewhere. Where did it go? Area 52.
Officially designated as the Dugway Proving Ground, this military facility covers an astounding 1,250 square miles of the Great Salt Lake Desert. Dugway's official mission is to test top-secret weapons and aerospace systems. But UFO researchers believe the true purpose of Area 52 is even more sinister.
Some of the things that we've seen out there are convoys of black Suburbans or military vehicles that just kind of disappear. Like they're going underground or something like that. You have areas that are clearly marked bombing range on signage, and yet you look out there and you don't see any kind of craters or evidence of bombing. Instead, there's vents sticking out of the ground, buildings. What does that tell you? There's something underneath, some kind of huge facility or type of underground base.
Given the ultra-secret goings-on at Dugway, is it possible that UFO activity that was once centered at Area 51 has been secretly relocated to Area 52? And if so, is there evidence?
In the many years that I've been going to Dugway, in my research and my field work out there, we've seen certain aircraft actually just disappear in broad daylight. It looks almost like it's being cloaked. Invisibility, predator type of technology. I've seen craft flying around out at Dugway that I know are not man-made.
Dugway has a history which continues to this day of interesting UFO sightings. This doesn't include simply craft, but also things like orangish red orbs, for example. Bizarre things. They're certainly nothing that officially the United States government has acknowledged, and yet enough people are seeing them that we really have to ask ourselves, what are these things, and why are they there?
No one knows the area better than me. It's kind of one of those places where if you're hanging around, you're gonna get confronted. And boy, when you have the white vans roll up on you and the guys pop out, palming their guns, it's quite intimidating. And they say, you know, you need to move on, you need to pack up your stuff. It's not public land, you are on Dugway property. And I'm telling you, the security is nothing that you want to mess with.
Governments are always talking about being more transparent. They're always talking about being more open. In fact, they become less transparent and less open over the years. I think this is more propaganda than anything else.
Area 51 is vast, but Area 52 is 3.5 times bigger. It's slightly larger than Rhode Island.
Dugway Proving Grounds is located in the West Desert of Utah. It's completely surrounded by mountains on 3 sides. If you're familiar with the West Deserts of Utah, you know that there's just huge, vast areas out there where nobody and nothing is around. If you get a flat tire and don't have a spare, plan on walking 60 miles because there's no cell phone service. It's miles and miles of dirt roads. It's one of those areas where if you're not prepared to go into, stay out of.
Dugway is shrouded in mystery and lots of mishaps.
I suggest that nobody trespasses on this property. You will have Black Hawk helicopters on you in no time.
Yeah, they got their light on. They're looking for it.
I mean, it's one of those kind of scary places.
I think he's trying to scare us off. Oh my God, I think he's gonna land.
Dugway is an area that we should be looking at for multiple reasons.
We've been at the front gate. We get a little bit too close. We get security, you know, coming at us. They confiscate your vehicles and you get busted.
Whatever was at Area 51 with regard to the alien bodies has perhaps moved to Area 52. I believe that they're testing high particle laser beams. The biological and chemical weapons that they test are concerning and have been for a long, long time.
If you're doing germ warfare experiments, if you're doing chemical weapons and radiological weapons testing, you want them far away from people. So I think it's certainly in the military's interest to have as large an area around them as possible. It also helps for secrecy, quite obviously.
Oh, whoa, here he comes. Whoa.
Now he's definitely looking at us.
When you're working on highly sensitive projects, you do not want people just traipsing in to take a look.
Oh, dude, my heart is racing.
Don't go near this place. And I do believe it's probably one of the scariest places on the planet.
I think we better get out of here.
Dave Rosenfeld is among a growing number of UFO researchers who contend Dugway has been a hotbed of UFO activity for decades.
I've seen craft flying around at Dugway, doing maneuvers that I know conventional craft can't do. And so it's either experimental craft or it's not ours. I've personally witnessed unconventional craft being escorted by Black Hawk helicopters. I've heard of other stories that have come my way where UFOs have been seen in the area, and these type of craft cannot be all military. There's no way that the military can account for all the sightings that happen out there.
If a UFO crashed at Roswell in 1947, it stands to reason they would work on trying to reverse engineer it. In other words, scientists and technicians and engineers would be trying to figure out what the technology is and trying to build one themselves.
I believe that we have technology out there that's so advanced, we don't understand what they're working with, but then you've got this extraterrestrial or some sort of intelligence that's interacting at this area, and that we can't explain that either, but there is a definite connection between the two.
It is possible, all right, that they're working on very advanced technology, even reverse engineered technology from sources that are not from here, let's just say. Unfortunately, we have a lot of questions about these secret bases.
But if the US government and its elite private contractors are reverse engineering technology from UFOs, as many suspect, how are they getting their hands on such spacecraft? November 2009. An unidentified object lights up the night sky above North America. News reports claim it's just a meteorite, but as scientists track it on radar, they determine that the object falls onto Area 52. Many dismiss this as nothing more than coincidence, but is it? UFO investigators point to another similar incident that occurred just a few years earlier.
In the early 2000s, NASA launched a space probe called Genesis, and its mission was to collect the first ever cosmic material that's beyond the moon that we would bring back.
This was a mission to try and understand what's in the solar wind.
But when Genesis attempts to return to Earth, something goes badly wrong.
NASA's Genesis space probe malfunctioned, but they were able to force it to crash land.
We see the visual.
And where did that happen? Area 52. Is it a coincidence, or is there something else at play here? The crash at Area 52, coupled with the rumors about that area, suggesting that this is where alien technology is being back-engineered and even advanced weaponry is being developed, has led to the suggestion that they have some sort of weapon actually designed to bring down a UFO, and that what happened to the Genesis space program was a test of this technology.
At the time the space probe came down, we had no idea that they had the ability to redirect a craft re-entering the Earth's atmosphere, which they clearly did with this space probe coming into Dugway. So could this be something that they were testing? It very well could be.
Is it possible the US military and NASA possess the technology to bring down UFOs, as researchers believe? And if so, could this be a part of an ultra-secret reverse engineering project?
When I look at some of the most advanced technologies that are coming out of the military, out of what we call the black budget world, in terms of officially recognized technology and leaks, my strong feeling is that a good portion of this comes from science and technology that does not come from us. It comes from somewhere else.